Start.
Cool. Okay, flutter kick. So flutter kick is in a hollow body position where the shoulders and the ankles are in the same linear plane. The legs will be locked out and then oscillate up and down movement with legs locked out. Awesome. Scissor kick. Same motion, same hollow body, shoulders and ankles, but now the legs go on top of each other like scissors would be. So scissor kick and flutter kick, very important for the core and the abdominal. So hollow body hold. Hollow body hold, shoulders off the ground, ankles off the ground, arms overhead. Hollow body, no arch in the lower back. Rest. Okay, let's go lower back complex. Lower back complex. We're going to start with the right arm, left leg up, lower back down. Left arm, right leg up, lower back down, then both arms, both legs up, back down. That trifecta of movement, go through it a couple times. This trifecta of movement is your lower back complex. Right arm, left leg up, left arm, right leg up, both arms, both legs up. Rest. Superman. The Superman position is on your stomach, both arms, both legs up. Your goal is to get the quads off the ground. Goal is to get the chest up off the ground, where just the belly button, your belt region, is the only thing on the ground. Okay. Plank hold. The plank hold, you want your shoulders over your wrists. You want your shoulders, your hip, and your ankles in the same linear plane. Pike your butt up real quick. This is known as a pike, so I would give you the correction as to lower your butt. Boom. This is your plank hold. From the plank, we can go to the mountain climber, which is your knee to the same elbow. Go ahead, mountain climb for us. That is the mountain climber. Also, from the plank, we can go to the grasshopper. The grasshopper is going to mean alternating right-left shin to your right-left forearm. Shin to forearm contact for the grasshopper. Rest. Okay, pike ups. We're going to start with single leg alternating pike ups. Single arm, single leg alternating pike ups. Boom. So think right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Good. And then a regular pike up, both arms, both legs, meet at the center, and then open back up like a suitcase. Meet in the center, open back up like a suitcase. Excellent. Wall balls. Wall balls are a movement where you're going to start from the standing position, squat to where your hip crease is below the knee, accelerate up. That free movement allows the ball to fly. You receive the ball, first squat, thrust. Catch, squat, thrust. Catch, squat, thrust. Wall balls. Slam balls. Slam ball is going to start when the ball is at rest on the ground. You're going to stand the ball up, taking the ball overhead, and as you squat down, throw the slam ball down, catch it on the first bounce. Take the ball back overhead, drop down, slam it down, catch it on the first bounce. Making sure that head gets through the arms, meaning you can see the ear pass by the bicep. Slam ball. Box jumps. Box jumps will start on the ground with your feet close together in a jumping position. You will jump with your knees pushing out, not in. Therefore, you get the most amount of force from the ground. Box jump. You will jump, land on the box, stand up, showing a complete hip in line. Again. Box jumps, you can step down or you can jump down. Box jumps are universally scalable, and that we can adjust the height of any box for any person, regardless of their athletic ability. The ring row. The ring row is going to start with the body tight in the lowered position underneath the rings. Notice how everything is tight in line. Go ahead and loosen up versus being saggy and loose. Tighten back up. Ring rows. You will pull until you make contact with your thumb to your shoulder, and then release, controlling the negative, meaning as you drop back down, you're going to control yourself in both directions, the positive and the negative, for the ring row. Sit-ups. Sit-ups, you're going to make sure that your ab mat has the thickest part tucked into your butt. You're going to sit back, touching your shoulders all the way to the ground behind you. You want to make sure you throw your arms up, touching your chest to your knees in front of you, and then back down. So the full range of motion for the sit-up is shoulders touching both your knees and the ground, throwing the arms to create the free energy. Sit-ups. Russian twist. The Russian twist, you're going to be seated slightly back where the heels are up off the ground, your back is flat. Touching the ball or whatever the weighted object is to both the left and the right side of the body. The count, all of that will depend on the day. This is a Russian twist, ladies and gentlemen. Bar touches. Bar touches are a great scale to help develop the double under with the quick bound. You want to make sure, don't jump, just make sure your hands are about 6 to 12 inches to the top of the bar. Now you're going to jump out of the toes and touch above the bar in a consecutive motion. It's known as a bound. This bound will help develop the strength necessary for the double. Singles. Jump roping, where the jump rope passes under the feet just once. It's all about timing, keeping that timing consistent. Singles. Kettlebell swings. Kettlebell swings are one of the more difficult moves for our basic athletes. When it comes to the kettlebell swing, there's a lot of movement that goes on here. Go ahead and swing for me a couple times. The kettlebell swings don't just start right away. They have a progressive build to them. The kettlebell must be heavy in that it's going to make its way overhead with locked out arms where the weight is against the arms. You want to quickly push it back in front of you to get it out of the way of your head. When the kettlebell goes up overhead, it is very controlled with a very serious grip. It is not to oscillate through the hands by sliding or to have a weak wrist. The kettlebell up overhead is very, very important to keep strong. The hips being set back with a tall, flat back, tall chest, flat back. Pop the hip in, extend the kettlebell up. The kettlebell swing is the first thing that people have the most trouble with, and it's something that people need to really visually understand and do their best to practice until perfect. Kettlebell deadlift. A kettlebell deadlift is just going to simply start with the kettlebell between your feet. You're going to bend over with knees bent, flat back, stand the weight up from the heel by bringing the hip in, pulling the weight up with straight arms as if your arms were chains. They do not bend, they just pull straight up. Kettlebell deadlift. Sumo deadlift high pull. A sumo deadlift high pull is like a kettlebell deadlift, but with a much wider stance. The wider stance, and now when we finish the deadlift portion, we're going to incorporate the high pull with high elbows. The sumo deadlift high pull starts like a deadlift, but then the last minute, as the hip finishes, the kettlebell is yanked up between the collarbone and the chin. Try not to scratch my kettlebells with your teeth. Okay, box dips. Box dips are essential. Developing that tricep, developing that dip to later be taken into the rings or on the rig. Box dips, feet on the box, hands on the box behind you, hip is suspended over thin air. You're going to drop down to where you get roughly a 90 degree, obviously range of motion is crucial, and then push yourself back up for the triceps. Box dips.